Just whistle while you work, and cheerfully together we can tidy up the place. So hum a merry tune. It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
Hi, my name's Amaya. I'm a 7th grade student from Central Mass. Today, I will be teaching you how to build 2 robots. First, I am making a Bristlebot made out of a toothbrush head. Second, I am making a Brushbot out of a scrub brush that will sweep up debris from the floor. I am going to be building a Bristlebot, which is a tiny robot made out of a toothbrush head, a pager motor, coin battery, and some wire. The problem I am solving is the Bristlebot is like a toy and doesn't really do anything. To solve this, I am building a larger one out of a larger brush, 3 VDC motor, a battery pack, and some wire. I am calling it a Brushbot. It will be able to sweep debris off the floor. For resources, I used YouTube.com to find out how to build a robot from a toothbrush. I looked at lots of videos to get different ideas. I also looked back at some information I used last year from Mr. Stark on making a circuit. Then I looked at more YouTube videos to see if there were any larger robots made out of brushes, and I used them for resources. My solution was to build a larger robot. I did this by finding a bigger brush and using a battery pack and a 3 VDC motor. I also attached a cork to the end of the spindle of the motor so that the larger brush would vibrate and move. These are the materials I will be using to build my 2 robots. 1 toothbrush, 1 pager motor, a coin cell battery, double-sided tape, some wire, a large scrub brush, a 3 VDC motor, 2 AA batteries in a battery pack, and a cork. These are the tools I will be using to build my robots. Needle nose pliers, wire strippers, a knife, tape, and a glue gun. This is what a pager motor looks like. Off of the spindle there is a little half piece of metal. When this metal spins, it makes it move. Because this is only on one side, it makes it vibrate. This is the final test of my Bristlebot, and this is how it works in the rain. These are the directions on how to build a Bristlebot. I just glued on my battery pack with Gorilla Glue because the hot glue wasn't working on my smaller bot. I just glued the motor on with more Gorilla Glue. I'm poking a hole with a turkey pin in a cork so that I can put it on my spindle and it'll make my bot move. I soldered the wires to the motor and then taped them down. After that, I glued the cork onto the spindle of the motor. This is the final test of my Brushbot, and I'm testing to see if it can pick up stuff. In order for the robots to work, I need to make a complete circuit. A circuit is a path that starts and stops at the same place. When I connect a wire from the negative side of the battery to the motor, then from the motor back to the positive side of the battery, it will make a circuit. The motor will run and the brush will move. These are the directions on how to build a Brushbot. Some difficulty I encountered was with the little Bristlebot. The two-sided tape didn't hold the motor or the coin battery on very well. I used Gorilla Glue on the motor and my glue gun on the battery. The wire was so thin I changed to a heavier wire. The two connections on the motor touched once I soldered, so ended up placing a piece of tape between them and around them to hold them in place. It worked when it felt like it. I started over and undid the tape and adjusted the things a bit, and it started working well, and I was able to get a video of it. Because of all that happened, the larger Brushbot building went well and worked good the first time. The only problem was the cork didn't stay on, but I put a little glue and stuck it. The modifications that I mentioned earlier were finding what product to use to hold the motor and battery to the brush. I ended up using a glue gun and some Gorilla Glue. Another modification I made was on the Bristlebot. I changed to a thicker wire. It was really hard connecting it to such small terminals on the motor. One more problem, I was trying the cork for the weight on the spindle of the motor and it flew off. I was going to try something else for a weight, but then I decided to try adding glue from the glue gun and it stayed on good. Okay. The only skills you will need to build this Brushbot is to know how to solder and make a circuit. You also need lots of patience. I had fun making these two robots. The small one is like a great toy and my brother really loves it. I feel they both worked well in the end. I also learned these robots work by an eccentric weight. Eccentric weight is made by a weight that is off-centered on the shaft of the motor and causes it to vibrate, which makes the robot move. Thanks for watching! The only skills you would need to build this Brushbot is to know how to solder and make a circuit. You also need to have lots of patience. I had fun making these two robots. The small one is a great toy. My brother loved it. I feel they both